She sat in the most elegant cafe in the city, surrounded by the glow of golden chandeliers, the soft scent of vanilla lattes in the air, and the quiet chatter of wealthy people who never looked at price tags. Yet she ordered nothing except a cup of warm water. And in that moment, as I watched her wrap her trembling fingers around that simple glass, I realized that life sometimes brings us to people for reasons far beyond romance. Sometimes, it's to remind us of the humanity we've forgotten. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and humanity, please like this video, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and don't forget to comment and subscribe to the channel. Ayan was a 29-year-old software engineer, a man who had money, status, a stable career, and a lifestyle many dreamed of. But what he lacked, what weighed on him silently, was someone who could see beyond his success and into his soul. After years of heartbreaks, shallow connections, and people wanting him only for what he had, he finally gave up on love. His friends, tired of watching him avoid relationships, set him up on a blind date at a famous luxury cafe known for its beauty, class, and outrageously expensive menu. It was a place where people came dressed like they were entering a movie scene, where a cup of coffee cost as much as a simple family meal, and where the lighting made everyone look richer than they were. But Ayan didn't care much about the cafe or the luxury. It was just another evening. In his heart, he had already prepared himself for another superficial conversation, another polite smile, and another person who would eventually want something from him other than love. He arrived early, choosing a table by the glass wall where the city lights sparkled against the night sky. He checked his watch several times, not because he was impatient, but because he already expected disappointment. Then she walked in. Her name was Zara. She wasn't wearing expensive clothes or designer accessories. A simple pastel-colored camise, neatly ironed but clearly old, a dupatta carefully pinned to avoid slipping, a small handbag that wasn't branded, and worn-out sandals that tried their best to still look presentable. But she carried elegance with her humility, gentle, soft, and modest. Her hair was tied in a loose bun, and there was a natural nervousness in her eyes, like someone entering a world where they didn't belong. Ayan stood to greet her. Zara smiled, warmly, politely, but there was a heaviness behind that smile. They sat down, and as the waiter came to take their order, Ayan asked for a cappuccino, one of the cafe's specialties. He gently encouraged her to order anything she'd like. She scanned the menu quickly, her eyes flicking over the expensive prices, and with a small, polite voice she said, "Just warm water, please." The waiter paused, confused. Ayan looked at her, surprised. Warm water? In a cafe known for extravagant desserts and signature coffees? The waiter repeated the order, just to be sure, and she nodded shyly. As soon as the waiter left, she lowered her gaze, clearly embarrassed. Ayan immediately sensed something wasn't right. This wasn't someone trying to act different or diet conscious. This was someone who either couldn't afford to order or didn't feel comfortable accepting anything. He gently tried to make her feel at ease, asking about her day, about where she was from, and with time, she slowly opened up. She was a primary school teacher, earning a modest salary, living with her mother and younger brother. Her father had passed away years ago, leaving behind debt and responsibility that the family was still struggling to recover from. Zara wasn't someone who lacked dreams. She had plenty. But life had forced her to become practical, stable, and responsible far too early. As they spoke, Ayan noticed several things about her. She was sincere, humble, and genuine. She avoided talking about herself too much, focused more on listening, and when she did speak, her tone reflected wisdom beyond her age. She wasn't here to impress him. In fact, she seemed more concerned about not burdening him. At one point, he gently asked, "Why did you order only warm water?" She looked up for a brief second, then down again, her fingers tightening around the cup. "I didn't want to spend your money," she whispered softly. "This cafe is too expensive. I'm not used to such places." Her honesty struck him. Not once had he met someone who refused luxury out of respect for his effort. Most, in fact, embraced it eagerly. There was no greed in her, only dignity, and that dignity made her glow far more than any jewelry could. The date wasn't filled with dramatic romance or sparks flying instantly. Instead, it was filled with something rare, comfort, the kind of comfort that comes when two hearts speak without trying too hard. Ayan found himself smiling, genuinely, something he hadn't done on a date in a long time, but life, as always, tests us in unexpected moments. Just as Ayan began feeling a connection, something happened that shattered Zara inside. At the table next to them, a group of wealthy, flashy young women started laughing loudly. One of them glanced at Zara and said in a mocking tone that was just loud enough for everyone to hear, "Some people really come to luxury cafes to drink warm water? How embarrassing. If you can't afford it, why come at all?" Her friends laughed. Zara's face turned red, not with anger but with humiliation. Her eyes filled, and she looked down, wishing she could disappear. Ayan felt something sharp inside him, a protective instinct he hadn't felt in years. He looked at those women, not with rudeness but with calm strength, and simply said, "Sometimes, the richest people in the room are the ones who don't need to prove anything." The laughter died instantly. Zara didn't say a word. Her silence screamed of pain, pain too familiar for someone who has lived through judgment their whole life. Ayan decided to lighten the moment. He called the waiter and ordered 2 desserts, one of them the cafe's most expensive signature item. When it arrived, Zara was shocked. "This is too much," she whispered. But Ayan simply smiled and said, "Today, allow yourself to feel that you deserve good things. You're not a burden, Zara." For the first time that evening, Zara's eyes held tears, not of sadness but of gratitude. They talked for hours. The cafe grew quieter, the night darker, but neither wanted to leave. It felt peaceful, like 2 tired souls had finally found a corner of relief in a chaotic world. Before parting ways, Zara thanked him, not for the date, but for treating her with respect. Days passed after that first meeting, and something changed inside Ayan. He found himself thinking about her smile, her sincerity, the way she held her struggles without complaining. He realized that wealth had surrounded him his entire life, but rarely had he met richness of character like hers. And Zara? She too thought of him, but with caution. She liked him, but her self-worth battled with her fears. Why would someone like him choose someone like me? She asked herself repeatedly. Ayan decided to meet her again, not in a cafe, not in a place of luxury, but somewhere simple. He invited her to a small, beautiful garden cafe, peaceful and away from crowds. When she arrived, she looked comfortable this time, a little more confident. They spent the evening talking again, but this time, Ayan asked what he truly wanted to know. "Zara, have you ever been loved the way you deserve?" She froze, unexpected tears in her eyes. No one had ever asked her that. She had seen responsibilities, expectations, sacrifices, but love? No. She had never experienced a love gentle enough to hold her, strong enough to fight for her. Their meetings continued. Slow, genuine, caring. And with time, Zara's fear melted. She allowed her heart to believe that maybe, just maybe, she was worthy of love too. Then came the day that changed everything. Ayan invited her to his home, not to impress her, but to introduce her to his mother. Zara hesitated, terrified of being judged again, but she went. To her relief, Ayan's mother was warm, humble, and instantly liked her. But the real test came when Ayan's aunt arrived unexpectedly, saw Zara's simple dressing, and judged her instantly. "She doesn't match our family standard," she whispered sharply to Ayan's mother, but loud enough for Zara to hear. That old pain returned. Zara felt like she was intruding into a world that didn't belong to her. That night, she went home and cried. Not because she wasn't accepted, but because she didn't want her presence to cause problems in Ayan's life. She made a decision that broke her heart, to step away. She sent Ayan a message, ending everything with a quiet goodbye. Ayan rushed to her house the next day, and what he saw changed him forever. Zara, sitting at her dining table, teaching her younger brother, helping her mother prepare food, living in a small home that held warmth larger than any mansion. He realized then that love wasn't about matching standards. It was about matching values, hearts, kindness. He told her mother everything. How he met Zara, how she touched his heart, and how he wanted to give her the life she deserved. Her mother cried softly, not because of happiness alone, but because someone finally saw the worth in her daughter that the world had always overlooked. Ayan reassured Zara that love wasn't a burden, and that anyone who couldn't respect her simplicity had no place in their life. And this time, she didn't step back. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Your one comment, even a single heart emoji, motivates us to bring more such emotional stories to you. Before the ending, I have one special request. Please comment below. Kindness changes lives. So we know you're part of this family of hearts.